Sami Zayn joins SmackDown. Chelsea Green and the Secret Harvest take out women's tag team champions Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. And Drew McIntyre claims to be the real Nightmare in WWE, but in actuality, the Nightmare was this episode. All this on our recap of WWE SmackDown. What is up, everyone? I am the hot commodity Ant C, and I'm joined by my own personal hot commodity Ant B. And yes, we are covering that nightmare of an episode of Friday Night SmackDown, live from August 15th, 2025, live in Boston, Massachusetts. And surprised we didn't see John Cena here because it's Massachusetts. You know, you would think he would maybe show up for his hometown, but maybe he was there because we can't see Cena. Maybe he was invisible Cena for tonight. So this was a pretty shitty episode of SmackDown, I'm not gonna lie. Not a lot happened here, and it was hard to really pick a match or a moment that really stood out. So let's just dive right into what happened. We start out the night with the MFTs and WWE United States Champion Solo Sikoa coming out, and he basically trash talks Sami, saying that Sami tried to show up on SmackDown last week, and then because of that, Solo and the MFTs showed up on Raw and took out Sami. Sami Zayn then comes out to the ring and says, "I'm just here to talk. When you cost me my championship, I was furious, but I did feel liberated. I felt all this pressure on myself. This is me saying thank you. I was focusing on the world championship, but there is one title that I also didn't hold in the WWE, and that's the United States Championship." And then Solo says, "I never want to see you again. Get out of the ring before I destroy you." Sami says, "Well, I'm officially announcing that I will be joining SmackDown." And that's when Sami attacks Solo, but the MFTs take him out. Jimmy Uso runs down, but he also gets destroyed. And then finally, Jacob Fatu runs out, and Jacob, Sami, and Jimmy stand tall, leading to SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis to make a 6-man tag match for the main event. But yeah, I didn't give a fuck about this. Like, I know Sami Zayn's on SmackDown, but at this point, with the way everyone just goes back and forth, there was no need for Sami to say that, "Oh, I'm on SmackDown now." I did like how he mentioned that he's never won the United States Championship, because it's a fact, and it gives him something else aside from the World Championship to go after, and Solo's a good opponent. I don't give a fuck about the MFTs. Tala Tonga is huge. That's the tall dude, and he's the only one that really looks imposing at all. But what was your thoughts on this here?
Yeah, I don't think this is anything worthy of being a main event. I don't know if it's just because they didn't have Cena there, and
they didn't have anybody. No Cody, no Cena,
and
no
Cody's their champion.
Yeah.
But they keep putting Cody on Monday Night Raw, which is dumb. Like, it's supposed to be a champion on each show. It's just like they put everything into Raw, and then SmackDown gets the slim pickings. So, I guarantee we'll see Cody Rhodes on Raw. So, yeah, this was just, it's stupid. I'm so over Solo and him trying to make some, Timu brand of the Bloodline, basically. And he just needs to go out by himself. He just keeps playing the same character, hiding behind a group of people, and it doesn't work for him.
Yeah.
He's not Roman Reigns.
It was also very different. When he was in NXT, he was like he was a beast. He was almost like Jacob Fatu. And then they bring him up, and he's kind of over time, he's kind of gotten more of a silly character. But yeah, I want to see if we're gonna get Solo as a leader of this group, he has to be a monster heel, and he can't just always hide behind people. He can, but you also have to fuck up your opponents too.
He's tend not really to do this with a lot of people, like him, Dominic Mysterio, they did it to A-Town, what's his name?
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory. These guys are great fighters, and they make them pussies. They don't ever want to fight. And it's not you can be a heel and still fight. It's not a good look.
This is going to be inappropriate. You ready? Speaking of pussies, we have women's tag team champion Alexa Bliss with the other half of the tag team champion Charlotte Flair taking on Piper Niven with Alba Fire and Chelsea Green in her corner. And Piper lands a massive black hole slam. Alexa lands a DDT, and then Chelsea Green gets on the apron, so Charlotte takes care of Chelsea. That allows the distraction for Alexa to roll up Piper Niven to get the victory here. After Alba attacks Alexa until Charlotte Flair makes a save, but the 3-on-1 advantages are too much for Charlotte. Piper lands the senton, and then Chelsea tosses Charlotte over into the post and over the railing, and then Alba lays out Alexa Bliss with a gory bomb, and Piper splashes Bliss. And the Secret Service and Chelsea Green are showing these former women's champions, and now they are the tag team champions, that they're here to fucking play. We've seen Chelsea on Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, so the Secret Service and Chelsea have been playing triple duty here. But I like them. I like Piper. She does look like a beast. So what they're doing, like, this is, we talked earlier about a stable not working. The stable does work. Like, they do.
And like they said, Alba Fire is the longest reigning UK NXT Women's Champion. She's good too.
I said that she was underrated in my NXT recap that I posted earlier in terms of wrestling. Like, she doesn't get a lot of like time on her own, and she's really, really good. But yeah, it was interesting to see Charlotte and Alexa get beat up this week, though. But that's bound to happen, and we'll probably get Charlotte and Alexa versus Secret Service for the tag titles, and maybe Clash in Paris.
Maybe.
We see Nia Jax confronting women's champion Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. Nia had an impressive showing on NXT, defeating Lash Legend, and I said it in my NXT recap that it looks like Nia has her sights set on the whole women's division. Nia is a former women's champion, former queen of the ring, so I could see her getting back in the picture right now, but Jade Cargill doesn't do it for me.
No.
Next, we have a tag match, Fraxium versus The Miz and Carmelo Hayes. One half of the tag team champions, Dexter Lumis, is watching the match from the crowd. This is a lot of high-flying action, as you'd expect from Fraxium here. Nathan Frazier hits Carmelo Hayes with a springboard reverse Spanish fly. That looked really fucking cool. Carmelo Hayes lands a reverse suplex to Nathan Frazier. And then as Carmelo is going for a top rope maneuver, The Miz tags himself in and hits Nathan with a skull-crushing finale. The Miz and Hayes get the win. But this is being used for The Miz to get his step up the ladder using somebody else. Miz always does this. I'm tired of them just making Miz a tag team. Make him go after the Intercontinental title, the US title. Like, all he does is work with guys to raise them up, and he can, but there's still more for The Miz to do, I think, in this division.
I agree.
And I like Carmelo Hayes, but this does nothing for either of them. I think I'd like to see The Miz go after the Intercontinental title or the US title. Even Carmelo Hayes could go after one of those titles, but putting them as a tag team is just lazy in my opinion.
Yeah, and I heard that they're trying to make Carmelo face. Which, yeah, I don't know.
He looked like he was pissed at The Miz after the tag.
And it's just like, you're right, they do the same shit with The Miz. And The Miz is an awesome wrestler, no pun intended. And he's like still really good. He's really in shape. Like, I think he could still be in the title scene.
We'll see what happens there. Again, women's champion Tiffany Stratton is backstage, and Kiana James confronts her, and she's speaking on behalf of the women's United States champion Julia. But Tiffany's like, I'm already women's champion. I don't need to fight Julia. But then Michin shows up, and she's like, I want a shot at the United States Championship. So, really not important.
They always use Michin as, like, people's first defense.
Yeah.
And I don't get why, because, like, yeah, she is good, but, like, she's never been a champion, and it's not going to happen anytime soon. So it's kind of like, you already know, like...
But they should use this title for her to become a champion, you know?
They should.
Julia is on NXT. Like, these titles should be for the women who really are mid-card. Julia is not a mid-card. Julia could be fighting like Io Sky right now.
I totally agree.
So Drew McIntyre comes out and he's, talking about, since last week people have been asking me why I've claymored Cody Rhodes, but you've got it all wrong. You're saying I attacked Cody, but he actually attacked me when we went out on the floor. He came after me. He says, Cody Rhodes is good at pissing people off and I'm good at taking people out. If you provoke me, I'm going to show you I'm the real nightmare. And I like this promo from Drew. He really
every promo Drew cuts is awesome.
It's good. It is good. But he didn't really have much to go for with this. It's like, he had a good explanation, but without Cody there, it's kind of hard to really care. But I do want to see Drew McIntyre be champion sometime soon. He's not going to beat Cody, but I do want to see him as champion.
Me too.
I fucking like Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, me too. And he deserves it, and he's come so close, so many times, and, CM Punk and everything else. So I think we're going to see Cody and him at Clash in Paris.
We will see. Next, the Street Profits with B-Fab take on DIY with Candice LeRae here. Candice continues to get involved in the match until B-Fab comes out and takes out Candice. Montez lands a frog splash to Tommaso Ciampa and the Street Profits get the win. They might get attacked in title shot. Don't care. This is like, they look like the fucking Sprite bottle if you look at Street Profits attire with a fucking lemon and lime. But they had a good tag match, but again, for SmackDown, we're a couple weeks away from Clash.
And why aren't the champions there?
That was cool. I forgot to mention that Candice LeRae hits a flying Hurricane Rana to Montez Ford off the apron to Dawkins on the floor. That was cool. But this was more for the girls to kind of show their stuff and just more time for...
Is this the match that didn't one of the Wyatts show up in the crowd, or was that last?
That was earlier in the night. That was during Fraxium and The Miz and Carmelo Hayes. Aleister Black confronts R-Truth backstage, and he challenges him to the match. And Truth's like, "Don't forget, I'm still Ron Killings," and Black is like, "That's great." So Black trying to get R-Truth to go back to the Ron Killings character makes no fucking sense. Like, they're just dropping these people like they're fucking schizophrenics and have different personalities here. But that's what they're doing. Our main event, we see Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso, and Jacob Fatu defeat United States champion Solo Sikoa, JC Mateo, and Tama Tonga with Tala Tonga and I think Tonga Loa. At this point, their all names are all the fucking same. Sammy gets the win, pinning Solo Sikoa after hitting a haluva kick, and now Sammy has beaten Solo twice. He definitely deserves a United States title shot. SmackDown ends with Sammy, Jacob, and Jimmy celebrating, and Sammy even copies Jacob's dance. So it looks like Jacob has accepted Sammy into this sort of group of taking on the Bloodline. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think that what might happen is I think Sammy might end up winning that United States champion, and then Jacob Fatu is going to want a chance, because it was his title. But honestly, I'd like to see Jacob Fatu take it from Solo.
Yeah,
But I thought this was a lame main event.
It was a lame SmackDown. I mean, nothing stood out. Nothing happened really, except for Drew McIntyre making that promo. Nothing really stood out.
You have a SmackDown, no Cody, no John Cena, no Roman, no Seth, no nobody.
Yeah.
It was just all mid-cards. They just keep putting them all on
I mean, in my opinion, it's kind of scary because eventually all those guys are going to be gone. This is what we're going to be left with. And right now, it's kind of lackluster, all those guys, those top guys. I mean, they're going to be here for a couple more years, but these are the young guys that were featured tonight, and nothing really stood out. But we've got a lot coming our way. We're going to be watching Triple Mania pretty soon. We have Attitude Years. We're about to get our year in review coming up for 2000. We have Clash in Paris a couple weeks away. NXT Heat Wave. We also have, what's that? AEW Forbidden Door London. I keep forgetting that pay-per-view name. I don't know why, but so make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. And until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.